Hello, beautiful divine angel. Welcome in. I have another message for us today. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I am Seer Cypher. If you're new here and if you're returning, so good to see you. So, I have a message for us today. If this message is finding you, there are definitely pieces of information in here that your soul wishes for you to hear. I am just the medium, okay? Remember to take what Remember to take what resonates, leave behind the rest, as this is a general message. Maybe all of it resonates, maybe all of it doesn't. Who knows? Let's find out. I trust that Spirit has connected us for a reason. So let's just dive in and get into this message. I've pulled some cards already. Okay. We've got Keep Going coming out. Okay. Keep Going always comes out when we're really like going through the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows. Okay. We're navigating through those. And so you may be feeling this, okay? Maybe you're feeling like you're going through ups and downs right now. And sometimes it's like we need to find that encouragement and that grace and that kindness and that love for ourselves while we work out the very ups and downs of life, okay? So there's definitely a message here that you're already on some kind of path. You've already started something new, okay? Don't let the hard days stop you is a message that's coming through here. Keep going, keep working on something little by little, okay? Because eventually you'll find yourself on the other side of whatever this sort of hump or like mountain is, right? In fact, you may find that you are so much closer to what you want than you imagined. Hard times tend to distort reality and make things feel heavier than they are. So be kind to yourself, walk gently, and just take things day by day. Success is often about just not giving up, but there's also something here about like you are much closer than you think. You are so much closer to whatever you are wanting than you think, okay? And if you've been thinking about maybe starting something new, like maybe taking on new study or taking on something to fill some kind of gap that you have in your life, the answer from Spirit is to no. This is not a time to start something new because you've already started something. You have already got something in the works, okay? And it does feel like some creative project because we've got the King of Wands here. And the King of Wands is the visionary, right? He brings visions into the physical reality, okay? And he's able to gather people of like minds, even if they're not super like minds. He's able to get people on board with his vision because he's able to execute it. He's able to communicate it with compassion is just coming through, but I meant to say with passion, okay? With vigor, with fire, that people just see it or hear it and are like, oh my God, this guy's amazing. This king is amazing, right? So there's some kind of creative endeavor that's very close to your heart. I don't know why I'm doing this. That's like very aligned with some kind of vision that you have for your life, okay? And it is coming in powerfully. And Spirit's saying keep going because I'm really drawn to this star, this spark here. It feels like something's about to like, I don't know, pop or something, right? We've also got the persona card coming out here, and I feel like you're a creative intuitive. I feel like a lot of creative intuitives are attracted to my energy and this channel, okay, this space that I read for, okay? And it does feel like with the persona, it feels like some kind of version of you, okay? We also have the highest self card coming out. Let me get into this. It feels like, now the persona card can talk about masks or like the very many different masks or identities that we can have in different groups, different settings, right? The version of us at work is very different from the version of us at home. The version of us that deals with co-workers is very different from the version of us that our family sees, right? So it's not saying to get rid of these masks, but to become aware of them and to connect in with that deeper essence of us, right? So what I actually feel from this, because you're a creative intuitive, I do feel like you are creating some kind of persona, right? There's some kind of business that you're creating that is based on some kind of persona that is within you. And I do feel like this persona is changing because we have the two of Pentacles, which the Two of Pentacles is such a beautiful card because it really does talk about it's considered the Lord of harmonious change. Okay, it's about adaptability and flexibility because things are always changing. The Pentacles are aligned with the Earth suit, with the Earth element, and Earth is literally always changing. It is a sentient being in itself, right? So it's about how we flexibly and adapt to the change, the constant movement, the constant change that's happening in the physical realm. Every day is different, right? Every day can be different. I'm getting like a really sharp pain in my chest where my heart is. Yeah, there's some kind of change happening in your physical reality because there's some kind of deeper alignment happening here. Some kind of deeper alignment that's happening with your heart. And I'm hearing like a phone vibrating, messages coming in. Okay. That I feel like you're getting some kind of intuitive hits that are leading you to change your reality, to change how you're showing up. This can be routines, right? But this is like you're becoming more adaptable. You're becoming more flexible you're becoming less rigid. And therefore your persona is changing, okay? Okay. In the past, what's really changing here in the past is you've tried to find balance from a very material aspect. You haven't given your intuition space to feed into it. And the Two of Pentacles usually has a big ocean in the background, which talks about us tuning into our intuition to find our own unique balance. That's where we find our balance. In the past, you haven't listened to your intuition and you've used other people's routines to kind of try to find your own. And you are a creative, intuitive, unique being. You can't rely on other people to find your unique balance. Like if you need more rest, then you need more rest. And people outside may look at it and think that you're lazy. They might judge that. But that's because they're also trying to keep up with, Bob Joe from next door. They're not connected to their own unique balance, and they're not creative. So don't listen to a single word that they say. The change that's coming in is the mind is finally trusting the intuition. There is an intuitive mind alliance that's taking place here, and therefore you are changing. You're changing because you're taking on the guidance, the wisdom that comes from within. You're giving space to hear your intuition. So you're moving away from this space of not feeling balanced in your physical life, okay? And the higher self card is talking about that your higher self is being embodied through this process, right? You're letting go of an external focus and listening into your higher self, right? There is always a wise and aligned path and purpose and a source within you that is gently supporting you and calling you toward them, okay? Because it knows best, it sees the trajectory forward. They have all the answers to your questions, and they whisper words of guidance and love. Sometimes it's easier to hear than others, okay? Go inward to hear it. You can reach them through being creative, through meditation, through nature, or just simply relaxing, okay? So there's definitely guidance here to do any of those three things, right? Relax, meditate, get into nature, create. There's more than three there. Your higher self is your guide, your mentor, your counselor, and it's always there for you in times of need or when you're shining your brightest. And I feel like you are about to shine so bright. You're about to shine so bright. We've got the Six of Wands here. The Six of Wands talks about recognition. So I feel like you're feeling recognized on a self basis. You're feeling recognized by your higher self. You could be just feeling recognized in life, from any avenue, okay? But you're going to be recognized for some kind of like entrepreneurial endeavor, okay? Because you're building some kind of business here that is a guaranteed victory. It's a guaranteed success. Oh my God, this card. It says our dreams start to make money for us. There's some kind of completely new phase coming in here. Completely new phase, because the Judgment card is hearing and following a call, and by the Judgment card we totally release a whole old past journey, past connections, and we dance and we follow that calling, and it's leading you to money. It's leading you to make money. Some dream that you've had faith in is bringing you to a space of stepping into your entrepreneurial gifts, and is leading you to very stable resources, okay? You're going to be making very dynamic moves in this creative project. I feel like this creative project that you've had a vision for and that you followed so loyally, so faithfully, even when no one else believed in you, okay? It's going to be bringing in resources. It's bringing in money now. Okay, oh, this is so exciting. But you're also making dynamic, quick action, dynamic moves, right? Confident, bold moves. Because you have strong beliefs behind you now. So the boldness is being received, it's being seen, okay? And it's leading you to completely traverse into a higher state of being. Your higher self, literally your higher self here, is being embodied through this process. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. This is so exciting. Let's get a little bit more info here before I close out the reading. This is so cool. There's so much happening behind the scenes for you here. So much happening behind the scenes because you've poured in so much energy and belief. Okay, you've left behind a lot. Okay, a lot that were attached to this old persona. These fake and false manipulative people were attached to this old persona, perhaps because you yourself were a little bit false. There's no shame. But these people from the past, these avenues from the past, are also blocked on purpose because spirit and your higher self are calling you in a direction that you are following. Okay, yeah, look, sacral activations, the sacral chakra. There's some sort of immense creativity that you're harnessing and establishing in this entrepreneurial business that you're starting. And look, I really feel like you're like resting more, okay? You're allowing your spirit to truly anchor in because you're sitting and waiting for the clarity, like you're willing to do that. That is the hardest part of the spiritual journey. Actually sitting with yourself, not rushing ahead, not filling all your time with aimless things like drugs. Oof. Sorry, that came through so strong. Whoa. Ooh, okay. And you're starting to take the path of least resistance, okay? Like you don't need drugs to connect you to your higher self. You don't need it. You never needed it, okay? I do not know why this is coming through. I'm so sorry if it's like triggering in any way. It's not the intention, but this should be confirmation that all you've ever needed is to sit and stillness, quiet, right? I'm going to leave the message there. Oh my God, so cool. I love this message. Something huge is happening here for you, babe. You're rewriting the old story. You're throwing out the old persona, and in its place comes a very healthy connection to your higher self. Congratulations. Thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video. Your support here means the world to me. Thank you so very much for your likes, for your comments. Thank you for your donations. I appreciate you so much. Head down to the description box. Everything you need is in there, okay? Make sure you subscribe, become part of the tribe, and I will see you in a future video. Oh, I just saw 1444. Super protected. You're super protected at this time. Sending you so much love. Bye.